Welcome to the third Keynema tutorial, Editing Your Outlist. When Keynema automatically generates an outlist, as we can see here in our project, it analyzes a number of key elements: sequence number, set, int.ext, day-night, a one-line synopsis for each scene, eighths of a page, characters that appear in each sequence. But there are many more columns we can fill in as we gather more information about the project, such as shooting unit, background actors, shooting dates, day of action, story date, and locations, among others. And this is just in the scene view. Let's remember, in every phase of Keynema, we can view our data in multiple ways. In the upper left corner, we can switch between views to see and edit our outlist, by scenes, by sets, by characters, or by shooting dates, once we start assigning them. 1. Editing cells manually. One way to edit the outlist is manually, cell by cell. For example, if I know there are 2 shooting units for my short film, I can go sequence by sequence and manually enter the unit info. The same applies to locations, dates, or any other editable column. 2. Batch editing by groups. We can also edit by group. Let's say all exterior scenes will be shot with Unit 2. I can select all the XT scenes like this, then click on any one of them and set the unit to 2. Click OK, and the change will apply to the whole group. We can also multi-select manually, for example, from sequence 4 to 7, and assign Unit 1. And if one is missing, I can just edit it separately. At the top right, we'll find several editing tools. Script View. This lets us browse the original script while editing to make sure our outlist matches it. Add sequence. For example, if sequence 1 gets split into 2, I can add a new one called Tatter 1.1, assign the same set, int, day, and save. Duplicate sequence. Select a sequence, click Duplicate, and all its data will be copied. I can then rename it to 1.2 and make adjustments. Delete sequences. Select one or more sequences and remove them if they're no longer needed. Jump to Breakdown Sheet. For any sequence, e.g. sequence 8, click the breakdown icon to go straight to its detailed breakdown page. We'll explore this interface in later tutorials. Let's go back to our outlist to continue working there. Set view and grouping sets. Remember, we can also edit the outlist from the set view. You'll notice some columns are grayed out. This means they can't be edited from the current view. But we can still do other things, like grouping sets. Sometimes sets are too fragmented. For example, John's house might be split into John's room, John's dining room, John's entryway, etc. We can group them to keep the information compact and consistent, especially helpful when working on budgets. Let's say all exteriors are going to be shot in natural locations. We can select them and group them as natural locations. The rest might be grouped under studio sets. We can edit the label and save. Now we have 2 main groups, natural locations and studio. This becomes extremely useful in long-form projects or series with many sets. 5. Character view and sorting. In the character view, we can also add notes or the name of the performer playing each role. Additionally, we can sort columns in the table, alphabetically or numerically. For instance, we can sort by character name or character number, depending on how we want to organize the view. 6. Editing the outlist by shooting dates. In the shooting dates view, we can once again add a new day by clicking Add. We select a date, for example, Monday, May 30th, and then enter the sequences we plan to shoot that day. Let's say 1, 2, and 3. Once confirmed, That shooting day will now appear with its assigned sequences. Every version of the outlist, whether by scene, set, character, or date, can be exported as a list. If we export this outlist by scene, for instance, we'll be able to open it later in Excel or any spreadsheet tool. Before we wrap up, two last features worth mentioning. There is a search bar at the top of the table. Right now, we only have 16 sequences, so it's not essential. But in longer projects, it becomes incredibly useful to navigate and find specific entries quickly. We can also mark sequences as shot. Let's imagine that today's shoot has already happened. We can go ahead and select sequences 1, 2, and 3 and mark them as completed. They will now appear as shot, which helps keep track of what's already done. Quick recap. We explored the different views available for the outlist. We saw multiple ways to edit the information, individually, by group, or using editing tools. We used advanced features like real-time script view, duplicating sequences, and marking scenes as shot. We learned how the outlist can be organized by scenes, sets, characters, or budget to optimize planning. What's next? In the next tutorial, we'll learn how to create and manage a breakdown in the best way for your own needs. See you in the next video.